everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing everything that I am doing in preparation for the new Elderwoods update coming May 13th to the wonderful world of Palia. This is going to include various things that I am doing personally that I think might be helpful to anyone who is also as excited as I am for this update in order to best prepare myself for what we may encounter when the update drops on May 13th. So if this video interests you, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment any tips you might have further for preparing for the Elderwoods update, and let's jump right in. So one of the first things I am doing to prepare for the Elderwoods update is by making sure that I have ample ammo for the new bugs, fish, and huntable creatures that we are going to be given in the new update. I've been crafting a lot of dispel arrows as well as fine tipped arrows, just so that way I am able to hunt the new creatures that are coming that will have the potential of dropping plushies and of course new materials for us as well. I've also been collecting a bunch of buzzy jars, honey lures, and of course bug bombs, because we know we are getting a lot of new bugs as well and creatures of that nature. So I definitely want to have a lot of these stored up in my inventory. And honestly, most importantly, I have been working to get my worms built up again. As we know, worms and glowworms take a lot longer to come into fruition in your game. So stocking up on these is very important, especially glowworms. As we know, certain fish only spawn with these, so it is important to have a stockpile of glowworms. I prefer to do it this way so I get fertilizer and such, of course, for my crops, but it's also important to note that you can buy glowworms and such from Einar. I just prefer to spend my metals elsewhere for that. And of course, along with fishing, it is also nice to have the boosters, just in case there is some difficult fish that are harder to catch, like similar to the long-nosed unicorn fish, the void ray, or the ancient fish. Those ones are some of the more difficult ones to obtain due to their sporadic movement. These are also super helpful to make those fish easier to catch. So you can also buy these and other buffs at Einar's. So just something to note that will make it easier for you whenever you are planning to embark on catching the fish in the Elderwood. Next, another thing that I am doing is going through my storage and clearing out things that I don't necessarily need. That includes some bugs and stuff that I've been hanging on to. I am not getting rid of course, any of the ones that are uncommon because I use those for buzzy jars. But like these ones here that I can't use, might as well get rid of some. I will keep one. I like to keep one of everything that is not starred, just because obviously people request them. I like to try to help people out with that. But clearing out the storage is going to be very helpful in the sense that when we do get to the Elderwood, we do not know what all materials we're going to acquire. So it is good to have a decent amount of space in your inventory if you are a hoarder like I am. Usually my inventory is around 10,000. I'm not going to lie, but I've been working on clearing out a lot of my inventory for the preparation of the Elderwood. And next, we're just going to piggyback off of clearing our inventory, because at the same time that we are clearing out our inventory, this is super helpful for making some money. We do not know necessarily what all is going to be purchasable, what all we're going to be wanting to buy or craft with the new update coming. So making sure that you have a substantial amount of money in your inventory is going to be very helpful. We already know that there's going to be a potion shop, which we don't know if it's going to be spendable gold wise or trading materials. They have not said anything with that. I think it's fairly safe to say we can assume it is going to be along the lines of gold. So just clearing out some extra items in your inventory, like things you've been hanging on to that you haven't been using, is going to be very helpful for this. Another thing I highly recommend that you do is going to be making sure that your tools are fully upgraded to the Exquisite. Exquisite is the highest level currently offered for tools, which involves having Pallium and Flowwood. But as we know, certain items need to be hit with at least the fine items but the exquisite make it a lot easier, and we do not know for certain if that is what is going to be needed to chop some of the new trees, hit some of the new rocks, etc., etc. It's just going to make your life a lot easier to have these already upgraded. I know a lot of people have been playing for a long time and probably already have this, unless you're like me and you forget to repair them and then they drop back down to the prior level. But for newer players, I definitely think this is something super obtainable in the next month for you and a goal to work towards. So that way, there is nothing that you will not be able to acquire from having a tool that is lower, unless they give us another tier of tools that is higher than the exquisite, and that will maybe be required for certain areas. But that is all to be determined. I don't think that that will be necessarily the case, but it would be cool to see us get a higher level with maybe a new ore type found in the new area and the new wood type found in the new area. Another thing I highly recommend doing going into this new area is improving your friendship levels with the villagers. Not only does improving your friendship levels with villagers allow you to unlock certain items that are only obtainable through increasing your friendship levels with them, but also we know that Subiria and Neo are already going to be involved in the new Elderwoods with quests hinted through the patch notes. So I definitely recommend at least getting those two's levels up. We do not know if these new quests are going to be locked behind a certain level with these villagers. So it is super important, at least in my opinion, to get friendship levels up. So that way there is no level of friendship lock preventing you from continuing quests. With that being said about the villagers, it is also important, at least to me, it might not be to others, to make sure all of my current quests are completed. We are going to be getting new quests and new plot updates in this new area. So to me, I really wanted to make sure all of my quests from the main story, side quests, everything is wrapped up in terms of the Killama story for the time being. So that way I can focus on the new Elderwood quests. A lot of these quests are not incredibly difficult, at least from what I found. So it shouldn't take you too long to at least get caught up on the main story quest. That one is definitely of the utmost importance. So that way you know what's going on. And like I said, with the villagers and increasing their friendship, we don't know if Elderwood's quests are going to be locked behind having progressed through the main story already. I don't think that that will necessarily be the case, because I don't think that that would be entirely fair to players, especially newer ones that are excited about the new map and the new area. But who knows? I'm not a dev. And also along the lines of quests, I think it is also very important to have all of your bundles completed or near completion as well for the update. I'm really hoping that we get new bundles and new areas to unlock and new things to unlock because of bundles. I really love that. It's the Stardew player in me having bundles to help with completion. But I would hope that there is something similar to this. So I would say definitely get your bundles completed, just in the case where they have extra bundles that are needed in the next one. Something else I highly recommend doing is prepping some food, whether it be preserves or cakes or something with high focus. I know it is not confirmed or not if we are getting a new skill with the introduction of potions coming. I highly anticipate that that might become a new skill. That's just my theory. I have not seen anything confirming that, but I can only hope, you know? And obviously we know that having a full focus bar allows you to improve your skills quicker. So I would say having some food prepped, like I said, whether preserves, going to Reth's shop and buying some food from him, or even just hosting a cake party or a cooking party with some of your friends is definitely going to be something that will aid you in terms of keeping your focus up and increasing your ability to level up your skills quicker. Next, in terms of decorating, if you are as into decorating in this game as I am, I fully cleared a plot here. So that way, whenever new furniture, potential new harvest houses, things of that nature drop, I am able to start from scratch and make a whole new plot dedicated to the Elderwoods. This is something I am super excited about since I saw the trailer and saw some of the new furniture and such. It's going to be adorable for a witchy themed magical plot build, and I wanted to ensure that I had a fully open plot for that. I know some of you are not as into decorating as I am, but I really do love the decorating ability in this game and figuring out what pieces to go where. So this is also something that I recommend if you are into decorating like me. And I would also say along those lines too, it is good to have a surplus of materials for crafting new furniture and new items that we might be given in the new update. This includes flow wood, regular wood, hardwood, iron, glass pieces, all that kind of stuff, leather, even fabric, silk. I'm going to do my best to have at least 200 of each at this point. So that way, whenever all these new items and such drop with the update, I am not going to have to run around and gather things that already exist in the game to be able to craft what I want to craft. And lastly, what I'm going to touch on is the premium store. I am somebody who does love the cosmetics in this game, and I have spent a decent amount of money on it. But for the time being, I'm going to wait to purchase any items in the store. I highly anticipate, as Palia does with a lot of its patches and updates, they add new items to the store. And I, as much as I do love some of the items that are in it currently and would love to have them, I do think it is important for me to wait until the update to see what other items I might want to purchase instead of getting some of the ones that are currently available. This is obviously spent with real money, so don't feel bad if you are not into that kind of stuff because you're better at saving money than I am. But at least for me, I really want to wait and hold off on buying anything from the premium store for the next month to see what else they come out with. And that is it, guys. This is some things that I am doing in prep for the Elderwoods expansion coming soon. Let me know anything you guys are doing differently or if this helped you any in the comments down below. I'm very excited once again to see how everything goes, see what's going to be happening, and hopefully we'll know even more before the update so we can change our plans accordingly or even get more excited. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.